Hello everyone. In today's post-lesson video tutorial, we will learn about input in C programming. Input allows a program to receive data from the user through the keyboard and store it in variables for processing and display. In C programming, the most commonly used function for accepting input is scanf function. In this video, we are going to learn define the purpose of the scanf function. Understand how scanf accepts input from the user. Identify the correct format specifiers used with scanf. Learn how to store user input into variables. Differentiate between output and input functions in C programming. We learned how to use the Printf function, how to use variables and data types to store information in a program. From this lesson, we will learn about the scanf function. The scanf function is an input function in C programming. It allows the program to receive data entered by the user through the keyboard and store it in variables. Just like Printf, the scanf function uses format specifiers to identify the type of data being entered. Now, let's see how scanf works in an actual C program. But before we start coding, let's first understand the syntax of the scanf function. The general syntax of scanf is: the word scanf is the input function used to receive data from the user. Inside the parentheses, we write the format code enclosed in double quotation marks. The format code tells the program what type of data the user will enter. For example, %d is used for integers, %f is used for decimal numbers, %c is used for single characters, and %s is used for strings or text. After the format code, we specify the variable where the input will be stored. Notice the ampersand symbol or address operator before the variable name. For now, think of it as a way to tell the program where to store the value the user entered. We will discuss this in more detail in a later lesson. Once we understand the syntax, we can begin writing our program and applying scanf using different data types. Begin by opening your C project and adding two new source files. Name them example scanf and activity scanf. Save both inside your project folder with the .c extension. Now open the example scanf source file and type the basic C program structure. Once that's complete, declare a character variable named gender. With the variable ready, add a scanf statement using the %c format specifier to store user input into the gender variable. Compile and run the program. Notice what happens when it starts. You only see a blinking cursor. The program is running correctly, but the user gets no instructions about what to enter. In programming terms, this isn't user-friendly. The program is waiting for input without any prompt or guidance. To test how scanf works, type the letter M and press Enter. While you type, the program holds the characters. When you press Enter, the input is submitted and scanf stores the value in gender. Then, with no more instructions, the program ends. At this point, the program successfully accepted input, but the user had no idea what was expected. So how can we improve it? How can we tell the user that the program expects a gender input? To make the program more interactive and user-friendly, display a message before the scanf statement using Printf. This message acts as a prompt, telling the user exactly what information to enter. Let's modify the program and add that prompt message before accepting the input. Before the scanf function, type a printf statement and display this message: enter gender M or F. Then compile and run the program again. Notice the difference. The program now provides clear instructions to the user. Instead of seeing only a blinking cursor, the user knows exactly what information is expected. This prompt improves usability because it guides the user on what data should be entered. In real-world applications, programs should always provide meaningful prompts. Now, let's enter the letter M and press the Enter key. The scanf function receives the input and stores it in the gender variable inside the computer's memory. The value has been successfully stored, but it is not yet visible to the user. This brings us to an important question. How can we display the value stored in memory? The answer is by using the Printf function. Remember, scanf is used for input, while Printf is used for output. After the scanf statement, add another printf statement. Display the text gender followed by the %c format specifier. Outside the quotation marks, add a comma and type gender. Compile and run the program once again. When the user enters M and presses enter, the program will display the stored value as output. This demonstrates how data flows through a program. First, the user provides input using the keyboard. The program stores the data in memory using scanf. Finally, the program produces output by displaying the stored value using printf. Before we end this lesson, let's have a quick recap. Today, we learned how to use the scanf function to accept input from the user. We also learned how to use the %c format specifier to receive a single character and store it in a variable. In addition, we discussed the importance of using prompts to make programs more user-friendly, and how printf can be used to display data stored in a variable. Remember that scanf is used for input, while printf is used for output. These two functions work together to make programs interactive. In the next part of our lesson, we will explore more data types and learn how to accept integers, decimal numbers, and text using the %d, %f, and %s format specifiers. For now, I encourage you to practice the examples from this lesson and become familiar with how input and output work in C programming. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next part of the lesson.